Merry Christmas, everyone. I haven't posted a video in a while on the hunting beasts, and there's a good reason. I've been at war, in hand-to-hand combat with a group of does that are next-door neighbors. They bed not 500 yards from my front door. You'd think me going out to shoot a doe in the late season would be an easy task, but there is one catch. I'm trying to do it with a SELFBOW I made last summer. I made the bow out of an Osage tree I cut down about 3 years ago on one of my neighbor's farms. Using my homemade bow has really brought new life to doe hunting for me. Using my SELFBOW is really a true test to how skillful I am as a hunter to get as close as possible to these wary late season does that have been hunted all season. On top of being a little more wary this year, there's also some other obstacles that comes with bow hunting in the late season. Oftentimes the does are grouped up together, so instead of having a doe and a fawn that are looking at you, you oftentimes have 5 to 10 different does or sets of eyes looking for you in a tree that lost its foliage weeks and weeks ago. So then you're up there sitting in a wide open tree looking like a big blob trying to get a wary doe to come into 10 yards with my SELFBOW to put an arrow in her and fill the freezer. So I wanted to take you guys on a few hunts for my quest to try to get one of my neighboring does in the freezer this year with my SELFBOW. All right, everybody, heading out for a doe hunt with my SELFBOW here. I made this bow last summer, and I cut the wood down from it a couple years ago. I'm actually just going across the road from my house, going on a doe hunt. Been seeing a lot of does out in this field, like 10 to 15, which is an awful lot for this area. So I felt like it'd be okay to go and take one of these does. And I really want to try to get one with my SELFBOW. So I'll just show you guys what it is here. It's a big open bean field, and there's just a little stretch of woods at the end of it. I'm going to set on a point that's right out there. A lot of times those deer will come out of the field, come out of the woods on those ridges and down into the field and walk around that little point. So that's where I'm going to set it tonight. Kind of got to hurry and be quiet at the same time because it's about 3:30, and I'm hoping that they're not bedding on the side of the hill, just watching me walk across the field. But for time's sake, it's kind of my only option. Dang it. There's some deer right inside the woods right now. I can see them. Not a good deal. I just can't get out here early enough, it doesn't seem like. I knew that was gonna happen, man. I just had a feeling I was too late. I can't get out here any earlier. I see him going up on that hillside right now. I think I'm just gonna go sit on that hillside and see if maybe they'll come back. But that's frustrating. I don't get very many opportunities to hunt during late season because it gets a lot dark so early. So it's really hard whenever I do get a chance, and then I freaking blow them out of here. Oh well. There's more than just those 3 deer around here, so I'll go get set up and try to get one. The deer ran that way. I saw the flags going that way. I think I'm still gonna set up right here. May do a little bleeding to see if I can get a doe to come back. They couldn't smell me, so they're just going off bright noise. Alright, so those deer came through here, circled around, went on this ridge right here, and over that way, and we're kind of circling around. So if I had to guess, the property line's just up there, maybe 50 yards. So I can't really go any farther.
I had to guess they're gonna maybe come back around and maybe go out back to the field that way if they do come out to the field again tonight. But so I guess I'm gonna sneak down here and see what's going on. See if I can find a good spot to set up. I'll show you why it's hard to get in this spot this time of year. Right here's a bed. I'm sure there's other doe beds around here. But they just sit on the side of these hills and watch out in these fields. And it's just super hard for me to get in here without them seeing me. Is what happened today. But, oh wow, there's another bed right there. Yep, I'm gonna keep going down here, see if we can find a spot to set up. Alright, I think I'm going to try to set up. There's a trail that comes from this woods, goes through that power line and out to the bean field there. I'm just going to set up in this tree right here, see what happens. I'm really close to the property line, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think it's right over there, so I definitely can't shoot this thing over to it, so I should be fine. Anyway, alright, let's get set up.
Afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday. I don't really know what day it is even. Sunday the 12th. Gonna go out and try to shoot a doe with my longbow again, so the quest continues. I'm just gonna go across the road from my house and sit on this little point that comes out in the field. I got a southwest wind, hopefully. The last few times I've hunted, it seems like it's been different than what the forecast has called for, but getting my stuff together now. Everything's kind of still wet from the other night. I hunted in the rain. But nonetheless, let's get going. All right, heading over across the road here, over the road and through the railroad tracks into the woods. I don't know how good of an eye this is all the time because I don't know if the deer see me walking across the field, but there's not really many other options, so that's what I do. Quite a few years ago, my uncle killed a really nice buck late season here. Just doing the same exact thing, parked at my house, walked across the road, and set probably the same tree I'm going to set in tonight, and got him a buck, so hopefully that works for me. Still muzzleloader season here in Indiana, so I have to wear a hunter orange. That's why I have a bow and hunter orange on, because muzzleloader season's in. You can see the wood line here, and there's just a point that comes out in the woods right there and kind of makes a little L and then goes back up that way. And I find that the deer, when they come out in these fields, they'll circle around that point. The wind's kind of blowing from the woods out into this field this way from the southwest, which is pretty good for what I'm hoping for tonight. I'm not worried about them smelling me walking in, I'm worried about them seeing me. So you can see the hillside up there. A lot of times they'll bed up on that hillside, and clearly they could see me if they are bedding right there, but I don't know how else I'd get in here, so I'm taking a chance that hopefully they're on the other side of it tonight. There's also a power line. I don't know if you can see that or not. It goes all the way up through there, and hopefully if they're bedding on that, I don't think they'd be able to see me because it's too tall and nasty in there. All right, I'm on this point now. I think I'm gonna try to get up in that tree right there. Then I can shoot if they come out through here. And then also right through here is kind of where I expect them to come from. I think that's my best option, so go ahead and get up in there real quick.
right, all set up. Yep, I'll show you what's going on here. So, right up in there is that hillside that I was telling you that the deer like to bed on. And then up on the other side of that hill is that, actually it's on the top of the hill, is that power line that's real nasty and thick. A lot of times the deer will come down through here and then come out right up in here, and then hopefully they'll walk right up in here and give me like a 15-yard shot. They do bed back in here quite often too on that hillside, and they'll come down in here, and they seem to like to come out in this little point that I'm sitting in and go around it and then go back up into those crop fields to feed. So I feel like I'm in a good spot. I mean, I've watched them walk through here a lot, so just it's a matter of them coming out tonight and doing the same thing. Man, the squirrel hunting probably pretty good this time of year. Every time I've sat here in the last couple weeks, squirrels are just going crazy. That was a big old fat red squirrel there. I've been threatening to take my little boy out squirrel hunting on one of these nice evenings, but I hate to. He's only 2, and I take it 22, but I hate to scare him off of if he'd be scared of the gun or not. So. That's something I'm trying to really be conscious of as I get deeper and deeper into fatherhood. Support whatever he wants to do instead of trying to make him do whatever I want him to do. I heard Stephen Ranella say, they asked the question about his kids hunting, and he's like, yeah, you gotta realize, there's a pretty low percentage of people in the world that love to hunt as much as we do. And more than likely, your son or your daughter isn't gonna love it like you do if you're as passionate as I am about it. It kind of seems to run in my family, but time will tell, I guess, right? A good pair of binoculars is something that I think a lot of us whitetail hunters overlook. This is a pair of Vortex Razors, 10x42s. I freaking love them. I've had them for a couple years now, and before that I had a pair of the Diamondbacks. Those were really good too. Vortex makes a lot of good stuff for whatever your budget really is. So I think something you guys should think about next year if you don't have a good pair of binoculars is getting some. You won't regret it. Even if you don't hunt real open areas, I love looking through, I can see into the woods here about 80 yards, and if you see something moving a little bit, putting those binoculars up, you can really see details, even this close. To me, they're worth having on you, no matter where you're hunting at, whether it be in an open field like I am tonight, or in a marsh. It can really tell a story that you may miss with your bare eyes. I hear something in the power line. Here comes a deer. much what I need him to do. I'd like to have him a little bit closer, but he finally kind of circled behind me here. I couldn't film him anymore. And he'd sit there and try to smell me, but he didn't know what he was smelling, so he just kept circling around, smelling the air, and then finally he's giving up and walking away now. But oh well. Maybe a doe will come in here still tonight. Well, that'll do her, I guess. Nothing else came out in the field, and I don't think it's going to in a timely manner, at least, to get to me quick enough to shoot it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pack up and get down and try it again another night.
Last night I was sitting right in that tree there. The only thing that came out was this little buck right there. He's standing almost in the exact same spot. Tonight there's like, I don't know, 6 or 8 does out there. So they're in there. I just got to be there the right evening. I think my entry is the problem. I need to figure out a better way of getting to the spot. I may end up parking up the road and walking maybe along the edge there until I get to a certain spot, then go out in the field, just maybe reduce my amount of foot traffic or scent laying down on the edge of the woods. But dang it. Alrighty, gonna give her a go again. Last night all them deer were out there. It's 3 o'clock right now, so I'm in a hurry. I gotta sneak in there before the deer start coming out. Yeah, like I said, you could see in the spotting show last night, all those does were out there where I was sitting at the 2 nights ago on Sunday. So hopefully tonight they'll repeat themselves. So weather's gonna get nasty on us here pretty quick this week. There's a bunch of rain coming in the forecast, so tonight's kind of the last decent night to go hunting. So here I am, going hunting. Before we go tonight, I'm gonna take a couple shots with my longbow here. Try to stay sharp with it. It's not like shooting compound. You gotta shoot it quite often to keep it in, keep the sights on it. We got asked in one of our Q&As on the podcast how often we shoot, and I'll just show you guys my little setup. Right out my back door here, just got a deer target with a little backdrop there just to fling a bunch of arrows at. I can come out here and my actual security light shines on that deer, so I can practice even at night if I needed to. So I try to make it easy for myself to practice, I guess. Give you guys, this is my Wisconsin buck. That one right there is my Indiana buck, and then underneath there is some deer we killed over the years. I killed this one with my bow, my grandpa killed this one, and my dad killed this one. I know you guys can't tell much about them because they're kind of stacked up in there, but anyway, I keep that. Probably one of my little favorite displays I have. Good enough. See you, buddy. Alright, gonna get my beast stand and get going here. Threw on a different orange hat tonight, maybe bring me some luck. The wind is actually a lot better tonight. It's straight out of the south essentially, so the other night it was kind of out of the south, southwest. It's fine as long as there's something out of the south, but ideally just coming straight from the south. My scent blows out in this field and on this point there, I get a chance at shooting that deer before they get around the wind side of me. So if I can get set up real quiet, I'll have a good setup tonight to kill one of those does. Frick. Those does spooked. That's frustrating. Well, I finally figured out where those deer were bedding at. They were laying right up on top of that hill on the edge of that transition right there. And I'm sure they just have been watching me walk across this field, but I don't know how else to get in here without them seeing me. Because if I come from that way, they're just going to see me walking right there in the field too. And I think coming in here would be too loud. And literally every night they come from up in there. They walk down out right here, and they just go out in the middle of the field. I'd say there's a reason why they like this spot. This time of year they can sit up there and just watch their whole world around them. So some of them ran off that way, and then one just ran off that way. So what I'm kind of thinking is maybe I'm either going to go set up where they were bedding and hope that they kind of circle back around before dark, or go that way where that single deer went, thinking it'll probably come back. But I don't know. I'm going to crawl in here and see what's going on and go from there, I think. And they can just watch all out through there. Does are even smart sometimes, so. Alright, I'm all set up now. I'll show you what I got here. Those deer were all bedded right there on that transition, which is, I don't know, it's probably 30 yards, 35 yards from me right now. Most of the deer ran up down this valley, up into that other ridge up there, and disappeared. So there's a good trail coming down that area, down this cut, and then out to the field right there. There's also a good trail coming from that way, going right through here. So yeah, I'm hoping that doe might come back through here tonight, looking for its group of does. So, or those other deer will come down this cut to go out to this field tonight after it calms down a little bit. I don't know. I may have ruined that chance, but whatever. I was out here going to give it a shot anyway. Going on this evening. Got about 30 minutes of light left, so I'm gonna sit tight. The only thing I'm seeing is a whole bunch of squirrels again. They come in here and thin them suckers out. I hear something running on the other side of the power line right up here.
cigars. I don't know how many deer I hear back in here, but there's quite a few, more than a couple. But they just don't want to come this way for some reason. So, I got like 2 minutes of legal light left, so maybe something will come running in here real quick.
Well, I lost those battles this time, and I'm willing to admit that. But as they say, the battle may be lost, but the war is not over. I'm bound and determined to get one of these does in the freezer with my SELFBOW this year. Stay tuned to see who wins the war. The wary does that haunt me from my front porch, or the primitive bow hunter trying to fool a smart doe on her own playing field. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the content, and I look forward to the next video. Oh, please subscribe. I always forget to say that. Subscribe. It's real easy to do. There's like a little red button right here you just push, and that's it. Here, Dan will show you.